Good Friday morning to all of our friends, social connections who are sharing your time with me and my co-host, Warren, in today's episode of Real Living in Bridgeport. And by the way, how did you guys like that skyline view of downtown Chicago today? By the way, I think that view that you saw is probably spot on with what Warren and I see today, because, you know, it's a beautiful summer day, blue skies, not many clouds in the sky. And Warren also gets a benefit from, let's bring him into the conversation. Warren gets the benefit from hearing those fighter jets, those specialty planes buzzing around downtown Chicago, right?
Yes, they're so loud.
You know, this time of the year, Warren, maybe you'll agree, this time of the year, it's always fun and advantageous if you either work downtown in a high-rise office or you live in one of the condos, because you get that view for free watching those planes and stuff buzz by, right?
Yes. But the downside is it's so loud and you're so close to it. Like you feel the vibration.
True that. Are you a frequent goer of the Air and Water Show?
Not really, because
neither am I.
To avoid traffic.
Neither am I. I've done it, or we've done it once several years ago. And how do I say this? You know, if you've done it once, it's enough, and it's a memory that will serve you for at least the foreseeable future. So I'm right there with you. So Warren, we're clearly in the month of August. Summer has flown by for me, for you as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And as you and I are kind of talking and sharing what we do in our business, which is helping our relationships sell real estate, buy real estate, and of course, secure financing to make all of that happen. You know, this time of the year, right? We're like, oh my gosh, summer has flown by, and we're picking up what I call that second run, right? The people who waited until, no, I'm not ready to do anything right now. I'm going to wait until I take all of my vacations, and then, Warren, I'll come back, call you, and say, all right, let's do it right now.
Yes. Pretty much.
So
right before school starts for the kids.
Right before school starts, right. Or in some cases, right, we both have clients and household families where they don't have to worry about when school starts, because here's the mic drop. Maybe you're one of those. Maybe you're an empty nester, but you're trying to move to that next step.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's lead off with you, Warren, sharing with all of us what is going on as far as real estate in the Bridgeport community, South Loop. Talk to us about that.
So Bridgeport area, active listings are slowly, like there's more new listings coming up. And then there are a lot of multi-units, like 2 to 4 flats being under contract recently.
Wow.
So like a lot of the investment properties, or like homes that you want to buy one unit and rent one unit out, they are under contract pretty fast recently.
Okay. So let's talk about that latter part and move backwards. Are you seeing more activity with multi-units because these multi-units have been fixed up, they've been improved, and now the current owner is selling, you know, the current owner is realizing, hey, it's a great time for me to still sell and take down maximum dollars? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean the condition of the ones that I see under contract, they're pretty like normal, or like some are like a little fixer upper that we
Nice.
previously talked about.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's just because people feel like they see the housing market or rates are gonna go down
Yeah.
soon. So they're more interested in investing their money.
True. True. You're right. You're right. That's why I don't disagree with you. I do see more inventory trickling into the market. And you and I both know the properties that are priced correctly and in good to great condition, they go under contract. They go into escrow very quickly.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So slowly, but surely, we might get to a balanced market as opposed to what we had seen a year ago, 2 years ago, which is little to no inventory, and you got more buyer demand than we can count.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
There's a lot of buyers actively looking for properties now.
Yep. Yep. And with that, before you and I came together this morning to do this live stream episode, I know you alerted me to a new listing that you're about to unveil this afternoon.
Yes.
In the Bridgeport area, or like close to Bridgeport, right?
It's close to Bridgeport. It's in Archer Heights.
Okay. All right. And with what I think we talked about, it's a great first time home for a potential buyer, and it's also good for like a flip or a improvement for an investor, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. All right. So all of you watching us today, listening to what we just dropped, stay tuned. Perhaps in the next episode, unless that property goes under contract quickly for you, stay tuned. We'll probably share some more information about that. But hey, great to hear that for you today, Warren. The conversation to, I know one thing that's obviously starting to happen on your side of the business. In my conversations with your peers and you, some are embracing it or have already embraced it. Others are still scratching their head. And that is what's changing on your side of the business is having to drop the exclusive buyer agency agreement with a potential buyer that you're going to spend time with from day one, correct?
Correct.
How are you doing that these days? Can you talk to us about that?
So basically, very straightforward. Explain, like when a buyer or a potential buyer comes and talk to you, you have to literally enlighten them, tell them what's happening. That in order for us to like work with you to get paid, we have to have you sign this buyer's agreement.
Yeah, I hear you. So wait a minute. I'm going to joke with you here. Get paid? Warren, don't you do what you do for free?
Well, apparently, well, not really. I mean,
Not
like every
really.
time when we before this NRA settlement, we were paid by literally the seller. Like we still get paid, but like it's from the seller. Or actually, if you put it in a more technical term, it's like the buyer, because the buyer provides the
Sure.
fund, and
Right.
then the seller, and then from the buyer's fund, they just distribute all of it to all the parties involved.
True. Very true. What I think I know, I'll put myself in the shoes of a consumer is technically, yes, there is a change in how um, broker compensation is going to work itself out. But at the end of the day, for someone like you and some of your peers, if you've been doing what you've been doing early on, which is communicate, set the right expectations, there's really no big change to how you run your business.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you getting any weird pushback from buyers when you're asking them to sign the agency agreement?
Not yet, because like
Okay.
people are still adapting to it, so they don't really know like what is actually going on until you like explain it to them face to face or like over a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, true. I think that's the key. I think that is absolutely the key. Well, hey, going forward, anytime that you need someone to role play with, if you're getting some crazy pushback, I'll sign up. I'll pretend to be a first time buyer, and then I'll throw some crazy questions at you.
Sounds good to me. It's
All
always
right.
good to practice. It's always good to like understand the consumer, the buyer's concern. And then for
Yeah.
agents, I mean, especially for new agents, you don't have to worry. You're depending on what brokerage you have. My brokerage has been like enlightening, updating us, and like training us uh, to get ready for the change.
Right. Right.
And don't
And
be
you and I
afraid.
both know this. Yeah. You and I
Well,
both know this. At the end of the day, it's really all about earning as quickly as possible, as quickly as it makes sense, earning the trust of the buyer. Because if that's there, I mean, signing that agency agreement is nothing more than, yes, it's a formality for us to kind of move through the next steps.
right.
Yep, I'm right there with you. Let's now shift the conversation as part of what we're going to talk about today, which is you and I know this. What we do impacts a lot of our client relationships lives, whether you're representing a seller, representing a buyer, or the seller becomes the buyer, right? You have a sell to buy situation.
Yes.
And the reality is that process in itself, sometimes it goes very fast and very easy. Sometimes it takes a slow crawl, right?
Right.
And for some people, it can be a hard thing to work through because moving is hard. I mean, think about it. If you've lived in one location for anywhere from 5 years and up, you start to accumulate stuff, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So, with all of that being described, what has been your experience as you help your client relationships plan for their move? What advice, what tips do you give them?
Um, Try to declutter as much as possible,
That's right.
and try to let go of things, even though they've been with you for forever.
True. True. Um, I'm a big believer in this. Yes, declutter as often as you can. Maybe make it like once a year. Go through a short window of time to figure out like, hey, why are we keeping this stuff? And then do one of three things with it: throw it away, donate it,
Right.
or go to what is it? Facebook Marketplace, garage sell it to someone else,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Because the cliche is one person's junk is another person's treasure.
Correct. That's definitely true.
That's definitely true. All right, good. Um, what other advice do you give them in terms of helping them plan for their move? I'll share with you a thought that I have, which is it doesn't always make sense to try to move yourself. I'm not a big
Yes.
fan of that because if you've got a lot of heavy, large personal property stuff, it just kill you.
I
Right?
know.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I'm a big believer in looking for the right resource to help you either semi-professionally or professionally move. So one of the things that I see very common, of course, in the suburbs, maybe in the city as well, you tell me, is like those pods, right? Those where they drop in place the storage container, and then you and I, if we're the ones moving, we can take our time to shove our stuff in it. What, you see that a lot?
I don't see it too much, but I've seen a few.
Okay. Do
I
you see value in that? If you had to move, would you do that?
Well, depending on how far if I move. If I'm not moving too far, then probably not. But if I'm like moving out of state, then that would probably be more useful.
True. So with you personally, how have you gone through some of your challenges of moving beyond the declutter? Any other tips or tricks?
I mean, you just have to really let go of stuff, like the things that you had for a long time, like that brings you memory. You just have to like let it go. It might not be a good fit for your new house. Let's say
True.
like your furniture or like paintings, things like that. If it doesn't match the style of your new home, then you should just either sell it, donate it, or just throw it in the garbage.
Yeah. Have you ever worked a transaction where with a seller, you've helped them sell the real estate property and you also help them sell the stuff that they cannot take with them? Have you worked a transaction like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You usually just give the buyer a discount if they like the furniture. So they don't, the good thing is it's like almost like a win-win situation. The buyer doesn't have to like spend time to go through the furniture store or online to look for a furniture to match the style of the current home.
That's
it saves them time, and then they get a huge discount for it too.
That's true. And then from the standpoint of the seller, I don't know if you look at it this way, audience members. If it would cost you more money than realistic to move that stuff out of the home that you're selling, why would you want to spend more money, right, to move the property that you're not really sure you want to hang on to? Why keep dragging along with you, right?
Right.
I actually have had some clients and family members, Warren, where they sold their home and they sold every bit of their furniture with the sale of the property. But of course, you and I both know this. That has to be separated out from the real estate contract, right? For obvious reasons. But it can be done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it can be done. So I'm glad to hear today that you're a big fan of got to get rid of stuff, got to declutter. I kind of knew that about you. So audience members, as we're wrapping up today's episode of Real Living in Bridgeport, if you are at the cusp of your life event where you're going to sell to move to your next chapter, you need to buy a home as part of your next chapter, and you just do not have exclusive buyer agency representation, and you're looking to do something in or near the Bridgeport area, it's real simple. We've made it simple for you as to how you can engage us to start a conversation. All you need to do is scan the QR that you see here. Warren will certainly drop in front of you through a live meeting or a Zoom meeting. Here is my complete suite of services available to you. Here's my commitment to help you. And by the way, as we just talked about, yes, you have to sign this buyer agency agreement. All right, Warren, as we wrap up, I'm going to let you go before the next fighter jet buzzes by, and then I can't hear you for a while.
Right.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. So good luck with getting your new listing to go live this afternoon. And like I said, audience members, unless his listing goes under contract within 72 hours or less, perhaps in the next episode of Real Living in Bridgeport 2 weeks out, we'll highlight that for those of you who may be on the fence and who may be thinking about, hey, I'm interested in buying my first single family home, or I'm interested in a flip.
Right.
All right. That's it for now, everyone. Have a good Friday. Warren, talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Have a nice weekend.
You too.